Does he swap? How quickly does he bring on Gaku and Molina, who I think probably should have started to give them any chance in this match?
Well, he'll be fuming, Bordelas, because he's given Loic Remy the opportunity in the starting lineup today as Madrid are combining. Isco just unable to keep it in play. That was very snappy passing by Bale. And lovely little touch to Carvajal. The ball just speeding off the wet surface. Intercepted by Carvajal again. Here's Cristiano, who tries the angle pass. Comes back to him off Bruno. Casemiro to Llorente. Here's Dani Carvajal. Isco making a run. Carvajal returns it to Llorente. Now Casemiro. Gareth Bale. Benzema. Wide to Teo. Return ball to Benzema. And it's a lovely combination. First time pass from Bale, returning it to the feet of the French striker. The shot was on target, but doesn't really cause too many problems to Martinez.
This is what frustrated me working with you on Tuesday night, that Bale is not simply his power, his athleticism, his headed goals. There's a very deft, intelligent footballer in there too. It's lovely to watch him, and tonight compared to the midweek Espanyol is wholly different. Setting aside his goal, just his combination play, his willingness to work, what he can do with the ball when he feels cherished, when he feels involved in the game. Great to watch.
Damian Suarez inside to Portillo. The two combining again. Suarez, a little nutmeg on Casemiro, who responds by whipping the ball off his foot. Here's Isco. Casemiro. Square to Dani Carvajal. Carvajal just miscued that one, and Damian Suarez able to head it back to his keeper. And what I was saying before that earlier Madrid move interrupted my thoughts was that Loic Remy, and here we see his shot. That was as soon as the second half had got underway, so he's got a positive start off. But he's given a chance, his second start for Getafe, and already on a yellow and on an absurd red card tonight. Bordelas isn't going to give him surely too many more options. He's there today because Molina's being rested, but with Molina and Angel on such good form, Loic Remy there has surely shot himself in the foot.
He's blown an opportunity at a club who gave him an opportunity once Paco Gemas bombed him out of Las Palmas. They drummed him out for indiscipline, accusations of mutual accusations of lying. Bordelas picks him up, and this is how he repays him. You called it right. There will be one almighty row. There'll be no defending the player in public, as we see yet another foul from the most whistled against by referees team in all of Europe's top leagues. There they go again. Unnecessary stamp on the heel there. Just time to rein it in. Time to concentrate on the ball.
Francisco Portillo with the challenge on Teo there.
Look where the ball is.
Yeah.
Where Portillo hasn't taken Teo's leg off, but there's no question that what he's looked to do there is kick him. And you and I grew up in a football that was more robust than that, but you know that's going to get you a yellow card. And you've been talking about the stupidity and the way in which Remy has betrayed his coach. Well, Portillo, just don't leave the team with 9, please.
I mean, clearly the demands of the coach, Bordelas, are for intensity and effort and giving 110%. But we've seen too many times tonight unnecessary challenges from Getafe.
That's the right phrase.
That don't win the side any advantage at all. Angel cutting a lonely figure up front now for the Blues. Quickly played out by Mora to Fahir. Missed the chance to pick out Antunes on the overlap. Instead he plays it square to Arambari. Portillo back to Suarez. Sergio Mora, that's good work ethic there from Benzema, but he's penalised.
He's disgusted, and maybe the referee feels that he has to balance the scales a little bit, but that was very close to being a good rob. And I swear we saw Gaku, who was out at half-time when you and I were having a quiet cup of tea. He was out at half-time working on his skills, warming up. He's running up and down the touchline now. You'd expect it won't be long, I don't guess.
Well, I'm a bit more of a traditionalist, Graham. Mine was a Bovril in that Styrofoam Cup. Damian Suarez chasing, and Ramos dealing with the danger superbly well.
Captain on deck.
Teo, lovely little flick on by Isco. Teo showing a turn of pace. Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. He's got Benzema to his right in space. Here's Benzema, and Benzema's cross chested down there by Antunes. It'll be a corner, but that was the BBC on the break.
Beautiful football, but let the world register the high comedy of one of Teo's best moments in a Real Madrid shirt as we look at the potential for a handball. When Teo cuts the ball inside to Ronaldo and he doesn't get it back, he's doing a Ronaldo with windmill arms, waving up in fury at CR7, who possibly will have a word with the newcomer.
Isco with the resulting corner. Up for it was Sergio Ramos. Who else? The whistle goes for an infraction.
Yeah. Did he lean on the player?
Well, you called it Jorge Molina coming on. I'm not sure.
Molina I wanted, but that's definitely not Gaku.
I'm not sure how happy he'll be with Loic Remy either. Maybe looking forward to a little bit of a rest today.
Yeah, it's a thankless task.
For 35 minutes, playing with 10 men against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu in the pouring rain.
He's a tough dog, the Alicantino. 7 goals this season. He is no nonsense, talented, because Gaku still works out there. You're right, he'd have loved to have started. His thirst for the big time would have loved to have been in the initial lineup, to be bringing the game to Madrid. Right now, it is a thankless task, yeah. And he's going to have to work.
Good work from Llorente. Managed to hold on to the ball. Isco leaves it. There's Ronaldo. Benzema returning it to him first time. Ronaldo just blowing the referee out the way there. Finding Carvajal. Aided and abetted there by Llorente. Casemiro thought about a shot, finds Ronaldo. The offside flag is up. Ronaldo has a long first and then even longer second look at the linesman.
It's on by a long,
but he's
way.
a long way offside. There's the first. No.
I hope that smile is out of guilt and he's just doing that for show, because, whoa, that's as offside as you're going to get from a leading striker.
Martinez with the resulting kick. It's a long one. Molina bringing it down with a little bit of good fortune, perhaps. Bale a bit slow, beaten there by Antunes. Kept going nicely by Mora, and finally Anambari finding Damian Suarez. Suarez looks up, whips in a low cross. It's a good one. Molina offside.
Yeah, again, very, very clear. Not up with quite with the pace of the game yet. Times his run all wrong. Probably doesn't even really care. Wants the ball. Everybody wants an early touch of the ball.
There's Gareth Bale. Carvajal back to Llorente. Still Llorente. He finds his captain. Ramos to Teo, seeking to set Ronaldo free. Damian Suarez. Ronaldo showing desire and intention there. Flicked on by Anambari, straight back to Ramos. Casemiro to Llorente. Now Dani Carvajal. Gareth Bale returns it to Carvajal. Casemiro. This is pretty sharp from Madrid. Here's Isco. Oh, he gets past Damian Suarez, gets the return ball, and it's brilliantly defended by Genet, but that was lovely flowing football by Isco.
It was. It's lovely creative play, and we're going to see more and more of it as Getafe tire, but I'm becoming a big fan of Genet. Really team leader, takes responsibility, unafraid to make challenges, athleticism taken the places that Geta need him to be. Great for the visiting fans. We talked about the huge numbers of Japanese football fans who are in the stadium in the Spanish capital tonight, and Gaku, it isn't simply a cultural attraction to see a Japanese player playing at the elite level. This is a very good footballer.
Well, right back at the beginning of the season, I think it was probably about round 4 or 5, he scored against Football Club Barcelona in the Colosseum. What still, to my mind, is one of the candidates for goal of the season, a luscious volley. And the Japanese fans who are suffering in the rain in the Bernabeu. Get to see just over half an hour of Gaku Shibasaki, and replacing his captain Sergio Mora. That's quite an offensive change, really, by Bordalas.
It's a clever change. It's why I expected to see him before Molina, because his energy, his willingness to show for space, to cover, to do two men's work is something that you need when you're down to 10.
Arambari dispossessed by Casemiro. Show strength and good vision there as he finds Isco down the right. Isco gets it onto his right foot, whips it in, and Janae there to head well clear. Well dealt with by Llorente. Carvajal finding Bale. Bale combining with the very intelligent Benzema. Collected wide on the left of the area by Isco. His attempted low cross blocked. Falls for Molina. Holding it up, waiting for support to arrive. He did that so well. Through the middle towards Shibasaki. Well defended by Carvajal. It's a lovely ball through, and it's a brilliant reaction by Theo Hernandez to block the pass. Molina was aware of the Japanese intent.
Proper, simple, intelligent combination play between Molina and the Japanese substitute. Really, really smart stuff.
Casemiro returns it to Theo Hernandez. Here's Ramos. Ramos finding Benzema. Bale offering return ball to Benzema. These two seem to be understanding each other much better now. Casemiro, Isco. There's Theo. Returns it to Isco. Casemiro. Whips it in to the far post, arriving Carvajal. It's a brilliant header back, but Llorente couldn't get there in time. Nacho to keep the attack going. Sprints away from Molina. Carvajal first time to Llorente. He plays it square. Theo Hernandez. Isco comes to take over. Needs support from Hernandez. Ramos thinks about a shot, I think, there. Instead spreads it wide to Dani Carvajal. In comes the cross, and it's Janae with the header clear. Ramos trying a little bit of delicatessen there. It will be a goal kick, but once again there's a clear intent from this Real Madrid side. And having commentated that game last Tuesday against Espanyol, Graham, they're looking much sharper. It's almost as if the idea of playing in the Champions League in Paris against PSG has fired them up a little bit.
I guess the embarrassment of midweek, the competition for places. I think the form and the fitness is back. This is something that all Madridistas will be delighted to see. They knew that Marcelo had trained, was about to be available, should play against Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, they're waiting in this crisp performance tonight for the potential return of Kroos and Modric midweek. Marcelo's going to come on and get game time. Fabulous to see.
Fahir picking out Antunes. Fahir once more, who's dropped back a little bit. He finds Damian Suarez. Damian wide, now Portillo. Arambari. Damian. Okay, it's better too from Getafe. Shibasaki leaves that for Antunes. Here is Shibasaki. The attempted cross is blocked. It's played quickly out by Llorente. Casemiro can't control it. Benzema doing brilliantly to get away from Antunes there. No one ahead of him. He depended on Casemiro. Gets the return ball. Benzema again. Bit of a soft shoe shuffle from Benzema. He ends up on his knees, Real Madrid, with the ball still under their control in their own half.
You used the phrase in the show that everybody was watching, I hope, yesterday, La Liga preview. You said about Benzema, he's back.
There's Isco, dispossessed right in the corner of the area, and the ball played out to Molina, so secure holding the ball up. Here's Damian Suarez. Again, that was intelligent play, and Molina getting away from Nacho, gets into the area, down he goes, and the referee has no hesitation about pointing to the spot, and that is an experienced number 9, absolutely by himself, no support whatsoever, forcing almost the penalty, almost forcing the challenge there.
He draws him into it. You called it absolutely spot on. And in getting there, in reacting first, and getting there so that he's in front, I back your point completely there. What he does is, He brings his run across, and there's a touch on the ball. The claim is, but then from Nacho, the touch on the ball is not enough under the current rules, because the left knee then brings Molina down when the ball is still there to be fought for. The referee has got that right. As you and I were growing up learning about football, that undoubtedly would have been allowed because it's foot to ball first. Now there's no question that's right, and your description of what he's done to Nacho there is really good, because Molina said, as I'm going across you, he knew he wasn't going to get his shots away. He said, are you going to bring me down? And Nacho did.
Well, certainly not the quickest striker on the pitch is Jorge Molina, but he did brilliantly there. That was about as good as he could have done as Marcelo comes on to replace Theo Hernandez. And as Portillo gets Getafe, 10-man Getafe, right back into this game all of a sudden.
Well. Madrid had been playing not just with enthusiasm, but with control, with brains. What is interesting, I think, Simon, is that as Getafe went down to 10 men, Llorente's position was advanced. He was up playing in the final third of the pitch. They kind of seemed to think that Molina's experience was less important than the fact that he's not particularly pacey. Penalty perfectly taken, Keylor sent the wrong way. It's a lovely piece of work. And just Getafe's confidence. I talked about them having a free hit here, by which I mean nothing to lose. They're safe, they've had a good season, their point total is terrific. Apart from Vergara, who they're missing tonight, they're largely injury-free. And they thought, well, why not? We'll have a go at this.
Marcelo linking with Isco. Isco forced to return it to the Brazilian. There's Sergio Ramos, a little step over, back to Marcelo. We have to watch carefully for the last quarter of this game to see if Madrid, or to see if all the players are up for it as they should be. Bale returning it to Isco. It's taken off his feet by Adam Barry. It'll be a corner to Real Madrid, because that's what Zinedine Zidane will be watching now, the intensity of the 10 outfield players on the pitch there. And as for Getafe, well, all of a sudden an opportunity appears for them. Still ahead, Real Madrid, still clearly favourites, but all of a sudden things have changed a little bit. Marcelo with the cross, and things change right back immediately by Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's not been given.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo has a little word with the linesman.
I think that what we're going to see on repetition is that the foul happens before Ronaldo climbs.
Benzema and Gené both end up going down, don't they? Really?
The service is lovely, and it was beautifully timed. As you talked about things changing or not, well, for one of the things that doesn't change from Marcelo is its silver service.
Yeah.
It looked to me like a good goal. The assistant referee says no. Ronaldo protests all the time whether he knows he's in the right or not, so that's no guide.
That's no guide, but I agree with his protestations there. To my mind, that's a pretty harshly disallowed goal. I want to watch it again several times. I think he was a little bit unlucky there, Cristiano Ronaldo.
And it's a big call at 2-1 with 67 minutes gone, exactly as you were saying, when this last third of the match needs to be intense and professional, needs to show game management from Zidane's men.
I mean, it absolutely does, because if they were to go from 2-0 up against 10 men and drop 2 points in the Bernabeu, then there really would be a tidal wave of criticism in the Madrid press tomorrow.
And there's a practical element in that Valencia are breathing right down their necks. The fifth, sixth teams are out of it, and Real Madrid calculate that it's only Valencia.
Oh, a brilliant save from Ronaldo by Emiliano Martinez. It's a reflex attempt from the Portuguese and a reflex stop by the big Argentine keeper.
Sensational save.
Marcelo returns it to Isco, cuts it back in the direction of Bale. It's intercepted and Faisal Fahir clears. Molina's going to chase it.
Well, viva la Liga, Simon. Game right on, game on.
I mean, you have to say, still with 22 minutes left, Real Madrid against 10 men in the Bernabeu, they're strong favourites to extend their lead, but it adds a little frisson of suspense to what's going on in the Bernabeu tonight.
And there's defiance from the men in blue. Not worried about the goal deficit, not worried about 10 men. Fabulous save from a really nice goal effort there from Cristiano Ronaldo. The ball in's good, his movement's really good round the back of Genet. We can praise him all we like for what he's done tonight, but he was outthought by CR7 there. And the save is really lovely, point blank, perfectly timed, gets a little lucky afterwards, but we have a game.
And I think Molina giving a lesson as that one's flicked on by Tunes towards Shibasaki. Nacho back to cover, just clipped from behind by the Japanese, and the whistle goes, free kick to Madrid. But Molina giving a lesson in professionalism to
proper
Remy.
old-fashioned centre forward play, and brain. It's not his height, it's not his brawn, it's not the fact that he's willing to wrestle with other players. He's got a good football brain, and always has done.
The whistle goes again. Free kick. Ronaldo, the man brought down this time. Well, Zinedine Zidane will be thinking to himself, when are we going to have a clean run? When are we going to be able to build our confidence up? This just looked absolutely perfectly set up for Madrid not too long ago. And all of a sudden now there are nerves. They're palpable.
They're there, you can feel it, but they haven't done that much wrong.
Exactly.
It's literally the one mistake where Molina robs possession and then Nacho fouls him. That's about all you could complain about.
Llorente. Ramos striding forward, leaves it for Casemiro. Casemiro picks out Dani Carvajal. Benzema. Carvajal to Casemiro. Ronaldo to Benzema. This is good. Taken off his toes by Casemiro, and he can't make the pass through to Ronaldo. I felt Casemiro was perhaps a little bit precipitate there. Here's Marcelo. The cross is blocked, and Damian Suarez saves the corner. It'll be a throw in to Real Madrid. Marcelo anxious to take it quickly. Llorente. Isco. Back to Nacho. Now Casemiro. I think Madrid just looking at the moment to take a little bit of the edge off the situation here. Although Marcelo, a superb pass, and Genet with the block. It'll be another corner.
Well, it's like he's never been away.
Yeah. And that's a positive for Zinedine Zidane, watching on from the technical area. It's a good ball in again, slightly too firm. It will be a throw to the Blues.
Do you know he brings fun? Both you and I believe in that element in football. We want to see elite teams showing why they're the best. We want to see them winning. Slight push, maybe. Slight push from Ronaldo. Let's back the linesman there. But what Marcelo brings is impishness, fun, cleverness, great technique. He really is a fabulous footballer. Maybe not the most assiduous defender, may I say, but lovely to watch.
And Tunes sending it deep, no blue shirts there. Nacho watches it leave the field of play. It'll be a throw in to Real Madrid. Here's the captain, Sergio Ramos, being allowed to progress into the centre circle. Picks out Marcelo. Isco back to Ramos. Marcelo again. It's a lovely ball to Ronaldo. Genet sticking to him like a leech and taking it off him. And getting away from Casemiro too. Here's Shibasaki. Molina. He had the option of Antunes. Portillo's seen him. But it's intercepted in the end by Llorente, who keeps the ball in play, but they give it away. Portillo again. There's an extra sense of purpose about Getafe's admittedly limited time on the ball in this second half since the goal. And Tunes held up again by Molina. Plays it back, it's cleared by Llorente, only as far as the feet of Bruno Gonzalez. Benzema challenging Arambari there, just managed to hold on to it. Suarez, Portillo, Suarez again. Here's Fahir, it's a long possession from Getafe. And Tunis inside, Shibasaki. Back to Faisal Fahir. He's just dropped back into a more defensive role. Gives a certain sense of purpose to the midfield. On that occasion, Damian Suarez unable to keep the ball in play with his chest. It'll be into Real Madrid.
You're very tolerant normally of my tactical interjections, but this cries out for Lucas. His ability to win the ball, hold the ball, use the ball, his Gaku-like energy of doing two men's work. I could just see Lucas, if that's Zidane's intention, changing this game, bringing home the points.
Oh, Carvajal, sorry to interrupt, he gets away from Antunes brilliantly. Janet, it is with the clearance only as far as Casemiro. Well, Casemiro fooling us all, looking to change the direction of the attack. Didn't get the touch
what
he
the
wanted.
Heck? In a club where you actually, I think, get bonus wages, would you call that delicatessen, caviar?
That is
Antunes didn't like it. Casemiro shot and scored in the Champions League final. Come on, son.
Here's Molina giving us a textbook lesson in how to hold the ball up with your back to the rival's goal. Antunes, you have to say how smart Pepe Bordalas has been since going down to 10 men at 2-0 down.
Totally agree.
He's got two lines of four and Molina up front. Send the ball to Molina. He'll hold it up until he gets some support.
And the key thing is you have to build an idea, a philosophy where everybody understands the jobs and will work for each other. Whether you've got a man in ascendancy, whether you're down by 1 goal or 2 goals, that's what they're showing us tonight. It's really interesting to watch.
Ronaldo to Casemiro. Casemiro in turn to Llorente. Llorente picking out Gareth Bale. It's been a bit quiet of late, Gareth Bale. Carvajal to Casemiro. He leaves it for Ramos, who's quick to pick out Marcelo. Ramos. Cross comes in. Isco controls it. Coming through is Benzema. The first touch just a tad heavy. And once again, the big Argentine keeper demonstrating how brave he is. Benzema, just ask him if he clipped him. I think he did, but it takes more than a clip on the head to concern the big Argentine shot stopper.
You said his first touch is heavy. His first touch has to be a shot. Isco has laid this on a plate, tied a bow on it, and Benzema must just hit it, right foot or left foot. It's in his, he doesn't need to take a stride. It's in his exact sweet spot for bulging the net. That was a mistake from a guy we've been praising, because tonight he's been lovely to watch again, and he is back. Used that phrase yesterday. Steve Archibald said, I don't think he ever went away. He did. We're now seeing a man, not with the world on his shoulders, but the world at his feet.
Gareth Bale, just caught from behind by Shibasaki, managed to hold on to things. Ramos finding Marcelo. Marcelo has a brilliant understanding with Isco down that left flank. Here's Isco, now Benzema. Quick to find Casemiro. Llorente avoids the pressure from the Japanese. Carvajal finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo looks up, drives one in low.
Extra touch, extra touch. The players were there, the movement was there. We're looking at both Asensio and Kovacic entering with 77 minutes gone. It's right to add new blood, not just with a view to this game, but with the Paris game coming up.
Kovacic has been brilliant in the absence of Casemiro, well, especially in the average of Kroos and Modric, as Ramos keeps this one going. Back to Marcelo. Lovely cross in, and there it is. Cristiano Ronaldo at the near post.
Fabulous.
This time getting the better of Emiliano Martinez in goal. Ramos with the assist, doing the captain's job. Cristiano Ronaldo doing the CR7 job. Scoring his second of the night. Real Madrid's third. And you can look and see the relief on the faces of players and fans alike.
They can. Ramos keeps the ball alive, so intelligent. He's up there, and instead of looking to do something spectacular, instead of driving towards goal, he stops, holds the play, recycles it. We're going to look here. Touch is good. Looks at a first time left foot cross. Knows that's not his strength. Finds Marcelo. Marcelo, one touch, sets it up. That's when one touch is not too many. Basically, it's studs on. It's a five-a-side trick. Studs on. Just roll it forward, half a revolution of the ball. Front post, Jenny can't make it. Keeper comes knowing he's never going to get there. The deft little touch from Ronaldo is his trademark. More goals from CR7.
Well, I think Zidane has taken Ronaldo off. Ronaldo getting a huge ovation there. being given 12-13 minutes of rest.
Immediately reaches to the bottom of his right calf, and he's taken his. He's asked for the medics to look at his calf. He took his shin guard off. He grimaced as he touched it, as he sat down with his legs stretched out. Hopefully, it's precautionary. Hopefully, he's not damaged.
Carvajal inside. It's a bit of a loose one. Collected by Arambari. Well, he had the chance of passing left to Shibasaki, was completely unmarked, tried to find Molina and lost out. Kovacic bursting forward, avoids the first challenge, can't quite get away from Bruno Gonzalez though, and the referee waves play on. Here's Shibasaki. Marcelo intercepts. Portillo doesn't seem to have too much gas left in the tank. Asensio getting away from Damian Suarez. The first touch of the ball for the player from Mallorca. Plays it back to Marcelo. And that's a rocket well wide of the goal, however, from Casemiro. He had the opportunity to shoot 10 minutes ago and didn't. He just shot there, perhaps thinking of that wasted occasion earlier. This wasn't really perhaps the right time for Casemiro to try a shot. There again is that superb cross in from Marcelo, and Ronaldo's finish. It's a brave one.
Can we remember the criticisms, the way in which when Ronaldo was playing poorly in the first half of this season, this was consigned as a terrible season for CR7. That's goal 30. Goal 30 in all competitions this season, 12 in the last 7 in La Liga. It's great to be a player who has a bad season and scores 30, isn't it, Simon?
It's not bad at all. Carvajal doing tremendously well. I mean, you could have thought for a minute there he was attacking the wrong goal. Lovely skills. Now here's Asensio. Inside to Isco. Well, once again, Cristiano Ronaldo, not just for those stats you just mentioned, Graham. He just gets Madrid out of sticky situations, doesn't he?
He's the man. He is the man.
Isco, Marcelo gets it back from Asensio. It's a good challenge. Benzema almost winning it back, but it goes through to the keeper.
Big long ball. That's too much even for Molina's expertise. Molina wanders around a little bit disconsolately saying, listen, I was doing you a favour, I set us up, we were back in this game. Don't pump the ball along over my head, please.
There's Asensio, gets in behind Damian Suarez, drives to the byline, cuts it back, just too fine for Gareth Bale. It's Shibasaki now, quick to pick out Antunes, and plenty of desire there from Nacho to make the interception. Well, there's a couple of the most expensive legs in the world.
Paris Saint-Germain fans will be saying, I wonder, has he done too much tonight? Will he be there? Will he be on top form? Mais oui. C'est sûr. He'll be there. It's CR7.
Another change being prepared. Dani Pacheco to come on.
Lovely touch from Molina there, Simon. Absolutely bringing it down his chest, laying it off, doing what, using your phrase again, textbook.
Shibasaki. And Molina goes down. The referee has a little look at the linesman. And to the disappointment, or should I say anger, of Molina.
Molina's shirt sort of billowed there, and if it moved on its own, fine, no card. If it moved because he got a little tug, then that's a very lucky boy.
Isco does well to hold on to that. Now Gareth Bale. Marcelo. Bale looking for the return ball. Oh, he does superbly well, but it was Damian Suarez who was there. Gareth Bale stays down off the pitch, crumpled there. Let's hope the Welshman's okay. Yeah, it seems okay. There's a gesture there as he staggers to his feet. And Getafe have improved that.
From 66-34, from having been through the majority of the first half 80-20 with 10 men. There, Simon, is the Molina factor that you've been praising.
It looks as though for the last few minutes Molina will get some company as Dani Pacheco prepares to come on, a man who's can be described as a bit of a globe trotter. Scored 6 goals in the Liga 1, 2, 3, the Spanish second division this season. And last season, I should have said. And looks like he's about to come on for the remaining minutes here. Isco does well. A little back healer from Asensio to Carvajal. Carvajal square. There's Casemiro. Seems to have completely lost the desire to shoot from that kind of distance over the last few minutes.
Granted, it was that type of assist at Betis that set Ronaldo up for the 3-2 goal. You know, fair enough, but we do like to see him shooting because he has that ability.
Isco leaving it to Casemiro once more. Here's Nacho. Asensio. Carvajal. Return ball to him from Asensio. Now Kovacic. Nacho. Casemiro. Ramos to Marcelo. Drives in the cross. Not too far away from getting on the end of it, Gareth Bale.
It's another lovely ball. It's another lovely ball. No wonder Bale acknowledges him.
Well, here's that earlier one, yes.
And there it goes.
Yeah.
So what the referee may have reacted to is that Molina doesn't have to fall, but there's no question that his shirt is tugged. That's a bookable offence. Boy, oh boy, Nacho was lucky there.
Well, it's Francisco Portillo makes way for Dani Pacheco. Good performance from Portillo again. Pacheco to play the last 5 minutes here in the Bernabeu, where Cristiano Ronaldo's second goal of the evening has really, I think it's fair to say, guaranteed the 3 points for Real Madrid. Molina again showing tremendous decision there. Shibasaki unable to return the ball to him, intercepted by Nacho. Now it's Asensio.
They're just two top pros. You know, they come from 2 different continents. They absolutely understand each other because they have good football brains. It's a partnership I love watching. Such a shame for the neutrals that we didn't see 90 minutes of that. I'd love to see the Spanish champions coping with that test, see what they did to close them down.
Marcelo over the top, looking for the pace of Asensio. He gets in behind Damian Suarez. And that one is protected. Won in the end by Martinez, thanks to Damian Suarez. Set long and high in the general direction of Pacheco. Nacho deals with it. It's Casemiro. Isco. For Marcelo all the time down that left flank. He cuts it inside to Asensio. Isco. Casemiro to Kovacic. Isco again. Always running with the head up, looking for options. It's picked up by Ramos. Now Marcelo. Marcelo, lovely little ball into the space for Ramos. Superb return ball from Ramos. Driven across the face of the goal by Marcelo. Caviar delicatessen from Sergio Ramos there. Marcelo doing most of the work. Ramos giving us the moment of class.
Always with a smile, always with passion. Do you remember when Ronaldinho donned Barcelona, they called him the rock and roll signing, and people said, look, he plays with a smile on his face. Whoa, Marcelo's got all that. Yeah, and the hair.
Great to see. Zinedine Zidane looking on as Martinez prepares to take the kick. Again, sending it deep and long. Again, it's kept in play. This time by Pacheco. The loose ball falling for Molina, but Faisal Fahir penalised for the challenge on Kovacic. Just over 2 minutes to go. Well, that's the 3rd goal.
Inline is onside. Inline is onside. Back the assistant there. Great movement from Ronaldo. Great leap.
Asensio. Marcelo. Asensio. Marcelo tries a back healer. It's blocked by Shibasaki. Who leaves it for Damian Suarez. There's Isco's field of action. Neat first touch. Isco goes down. Free kick given. Janae apologises to the man from Malaga. Free kick to Real Madrid. Isco straight back up on his feet, plays it short to Marcelo. Now Asensio. Marcelo so quick, so positive to look for the return ball. Getafe protects it, and it's a goal kick.
He needed a directions map, though, to find out where the left back position is, wouldn't he? You know, and understandably when you're playing against 10, but there'll be a Marcelo-sized path in that last sort of 33% of the pitch high up in Getafe's half, because, boy, that's not a left back as we used to know it, Simon. It just ain't.
Sent long again by Martinez. It's just flicked back by Carvajal if he got a touch. What he did, though, was just do enough to put Pacheco off, I think. Casemiro. We're into the final minutes. Kovacic. It's Gareth Bale. Kovacic back to Casemiro. Kovacic again. Couldn't make the pass to Bale.
Should have, though. Should have.
Antunes wins a throw for Getafe.
As the 90-minute ticker goes up there, look at Getafe. The game is lost. 3 minutes to go, but they're working. They're shuffling the ball. They're pushing for each other. This might as well be minute 57 as far as they're concerned. Love it. Love the attitude.
Well, Bordalas was saying, wasn't he, how pleased he is with the performance of these players over the season. We've criticised Getafe for some aspects of their game this evening, but you can't fault them. You can't fault them for talent, for effort.
Absolutely agree with you, and I think that's the reason why we're listening to the director of sport, Roman Planas, talking about rewarding Bordalas with an improved contract, trying to keep him at the club. Boy, what an impact he's had.
Marcelo to Isco. 3 minutes added. First of those almost up. Isco plays himself into a one-way street, goes down and wins a free kick. A couple of words on Gareth Bale, Graham. How do you feel he's performed today?
Scored better than the midweek. Imposed himself, not necessarily quite, but fluid understanding with Benzema, if not yet with Ronaldo. A definite improvement. Staked a claim at least to start in Paris.
And Benzema, you've been very impressed.
Oh, no, I must use your phrase again. He's back, and he's a joy to watch.
Oh, Marcelo doing superbly well. Unfortunately, Isco went down. It's carried on. Lovely back heeler from Benzema. Bale curls one against the base of the post. Once again, we're talking delicatessen from Karim Benzema, but also from this man, Marcelo.
But they're a highly attractive side to watch when they're on form. A lot of people say they're not as structured necessarily as Manchester City or as Barcelona, but their individual technique, their willingness to take risk, what they can do to entertain us neutrals, fabulous when they're on song. And that's why, going back to your point, we praise Getafe as we saw the goal that distinguishes maybe a draw and a definite 3 points. Ronaldo, 30th of the season. Getafe have waged battle with them and done pretty blooming well and given us a spectacle, which is why all around the world people tune in and watch La Liga.
We're into the final minutes of proceedings. Brilliant watching those replays of those last 2 or 3 actions involving Marcelo. Gives so much spark to this Real Madrid side. Benzema battling his way through. It'll be a free kick, and it'll be the last play of the game. Benzema leaving that for Marcelo. Lovely footwork again from Marcelo, lays it off to Asensio. Asensio thinks about a shot, feeds it through to Gareth Bale, and it comes off the keeper, I think, and into the side netting. The last move of the game, the last touch of the game. An opportunity for the Welshman as referee Milero Lopez blows the final whistle, beating the offside trap. It's a lovely ball through from Asensio.
It's a fantastic understanding, the right movement. Bale sparks the move by showing Asensio where he wants it, and it's a very, very, very good save. That's Bale's weaker foot, but the connection is good. He lofts it, little golf shot, the sport he loves so much. Fantastic save to finish a really entertaining, really intricate match of football.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. 3-1 the final score for Real Madrid. Plenty of positives for Zinedine Zidane to contemplate. for Bordalas and Getafe, well, not too many negatives, I think, despite the defeat, and that's why the fans, the visiting fans, are cheering and saluting their team. They recognise the effort those 10 men have put in for the whole of the second half, and quite frankly, you can understand exactly why Getafe are in the top half of the table, guaranteed to be back next season in La Liga TV. And let's have some words with Angel. I suppose you hoped to put Madrid under more pressure tonight.
Yeah, sure. We came here with hunger and pride. We wanted to register a great win. We weren't ourselves tonight, really, to be honest with you. First half wasn't quite good enough, and that made it complicated for us.
First time that you've conceded 3 goals all season.
Yeah, look, I've made the point. I don't think we represented ourselves properly tonight. We have to change it, turn the page, and correct the errors immediately.
You didn't really create too many problems for Real Madrid up front either.
No. Up front, we didn't have presence, didn't impose ourselves. We didn't hold the ball particularly well. Madrid's the type of team that is so powerful. If you hang back, hold back, they'll do what they did to us tonight.
Well, the words there of Francisco Portillo rather than Angel. A little bit self-critical there, I felt. Let's speak to the Madrid captain, Sergio Ramos. It looked like it could have been an easy game, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that comfortable, was it?
Every game has its difficulties. At home, it's important for us. The fans get behind us. It might look simple, but it never is that way. Look at the table. Getafe have done really well this season. Smart players. Even with 10 men, they stayed in the game. The really important thing for us was to get back and get 3 points and win again.
How does this game work? What does it give you for Tuesday's big game in Paris?
We know what the Champions means to this club. You know what it means to this club. We had a good first leg. On Tuesday we'll go to Paris and play with the same identity, seriousness, intensity, and try and impose ourselves on Paris Saint-Germain. It's a complicated task, but even if it's difficult, we know what we're playing for, and we'll impose ourselves.
One of the good news is you got Marcelo back. He was brilliant tonight.
Yeah, he came on just to find his playing rhythm. He did that. He makes a difference for us up front. You can see that he's back after what looked like it might have been a serious injury, but vital to have him back for what remains of the season.
Well, some are playing the Champions on Tuesday. Tomorrow, Barcelona, Atletico. You'll be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, you watch football, you watch around you. It's the type of thing that makes it fun. We'll cut the distance back if one of the 2 big rivals drops points.
What do you expect to happen on Tuesday?
Yeah, we're playing against a really good team. We know what faces us. We need maximum concentration. We need to be as serious as we were in the first leg here. They're full of fantastic, talented, difficult players. But we'll go and try and impose damage on them over in the French capital.
The words of Sergio Ramos there, and he's been telling us about how difficult it was to overcome Getafe tonight and what they expect on Tuesday in Paris. We're seeing some of the action from the game there. They're one of many saves made by Emiliano Martinez during the night. Some lovely footwork here from Cristiano Ronaldo leading up to his first goal of the game. Absolutely brilliant skill from him. And also this combination between Bale and Benzema. Well saved, or easily saved on that occasion by Martinez.
Yeah, the Argentinian had a lovely night. Special mention for Jenny, because despite this converted penalty from Portillo, Jenny was by some distance the best player for Getafe, kept Madrid at bay.
But I think when you consider, I mean, Getafe actually have the lowest wage bill in the division, Real Madrid the highest. They put in a really decent performance, the Blues. Very much back in La Liga Santander.
They're a unit, aren't they, Simon? Team spirit, individual players of effort and endeavour. We saw another Argentinian fantastic save there. Asensio coming on and understanding Bale's movement. Really nice the way that Bale showed that, and I'm telling you, Jenny must have been absolutely superb to be ahead of the Argentina keeper in my rankings, but I mean it.
One man who didn't get a run out there this evening for Real Madrid, Lucas Vázquez. You surprised about that?
A little, but I think it indicates his importance on Tuesday. I think that he will feature at some stage on Tuesday, and also we know he's on form and he has Zidane's trust.
Well, that's all from us here at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Champions League still to come for Real Madrid, of course, and plenty of football from La Liga Santander tomorrow, Sunday. Here, the final game of Saturday's football, the final score: Real Madrid 3, Getafe 1.